Hey guys, Martin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we have the final one of the Barbershop EZA showcases. I decided to stick it through all the way to the end. All of these videos have done terribly because no one cares about these units, but I always like to have at least one video made about all new units or EZAs that come out. So I thought, we'll go ahead and do our boy Master Roshi, but I do feel like he could be somewhat useful. Now, we are using him on the Kid Goku team, where he is only getting the 170 lead, because he is not on Dragon Ball Seekers. But one thing that I thought was quite interesting is he is on Battle of Wits. And remember that the STR Carnival Goku is about to come out on Global, who is a 200% Battle of Wits leader, and obviously is an STR unit. So this guy could potentially fit in reasonably well on that team with a bunch of other STR units. But, you never know. This is going to be the team that he is the best on. So, like all the Barbershop units, he has a 3-key 90% type lead. He has raised defense for 1 turn, do supreme damage to the enemy. And then he gets all of his attack and defense basically on super attack. His ability, when you pick up 3 orbs, is that he gets a medium chance to guard along with the 30% attack and defense. So, obviously guard is a very powerful mechanic, but medium chance is not exactly the most exciting thing, right? And then, of course, he has the 30% extra attack and defense with the 3-key, 50% extra attack and defense with 5 orbs, and then he gives an extra 10% support on top of the 2-key and 30% he already gives if you get 3 STR orbs specifically. So, on this rotation, we have him linked up with this Roshi, who is probably his best link partner, because technically it's Jackie Chan, right? So, it is actually Roshi, but we'll go ahead and get the full buff. This Jackie Chan is a Kamehameha support unit. So yeah, 106k. That means he's going to be jumping up to about 250 once he actually gets his super attack effect as well. So obviously on this rotation, we're not getting any of the benefit of him supporting STR types. But I mean, 4.5 million, that's actually not that bad for his attack stat. Remember, if we'd managed to get 3 actual STR orbs, we would have had a slightly higher attack stat as well, because we'd have been getting the extra support. So let's go ahead and do this. We're not getting any STR orbs, so I need Roshi to actually change some orbs to wait, no, he doesn't orb change, does he? I need STR orbs. I think I mentioned this in the previous showcases. The fact that these guys need 3 type-specific orbs, but then they don't create those orbs themselves, is, I think, a little bit annoying. Now, it is only for the extra 10% support, so it's not exactly like it's a make or break for that unit if you don't get the 3 STR orbs, but these units, because they only support the mono typings, like I brought a bunch of STR units on this team, but of course, because we are doing this as like a showcase setting, obviously I'm keeping Roshi on main rotation. But I mean, Kid Goku's team does have some decent STR units because he has the Exploding Rage secondary leader skill. Then obviously he has units like the STR Namek Goku on his team, which obviously this Roshi would be providing a decent amount of support to. And like I say, Battle of Wits is just about to get a 200% leader who is STR. So I could see some decent buffs. Yeah, the reason why our attack stat was so high on that previous turn is because the physical Kid Goku gives a 50% support buff to Dragon Ball Saga allies. So obviously Roshi was getting the all of that support from him. So that does make a pretty significant difference. So Kid Goku supporting him obviously is very, very good. On the next rotation, we are going to have the Grandpa Gohan, who is STR, but because there isn't a Goku on the rotation, he doesn't get his full passive active. That's what I'm talking about when I say about how this is like a showcase setting, so it's not like the best setup for the team, because we would be using Roshi as a floater, so this rotation would end up being like Kid Goku in slot 1, and then the Grandpa Gohan. So, do you get any extra links from you? You have Shattering the Limit and Turtle School, which you don't have Turtle School, I guess because he's kind of like in disguise, right? So he doesn't have Turtle School. So we'll attack with can I get those STR orbs to drop down? Is there any way? Now the green's just going to come down in its place, isn't it? And if I do this, actually, is it just one physical orb will drop into the corner? There we go. So not only do we get 5 orbs, we actually do get the 3 STR orbs, which means Grandpa Gohan on the end here is going to be getting that extra support as well. So should be a pretty decent turn. Roshi not obviously getting as much support from Grandpa Gohan as he would be from the Kid Goku, but should still be pretty good. Yeah, 4.93. So if that was Kid Goku in slot 3, we potentially would break 5 million. Now, can we get the guard? We didn't get the guard. We got type advantage this phase, so I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. But that's going to be the thing that will let this Roshi down if you are using him. Let's say you pull that Carnival Goku and you want to run him on the STR, like, Battle of Wits build. Him not getting his guard off against a particularly tough boss is then, you know, potentially going to be the end of your run right there. So that is something that you are obviously going to have to be careful of, but it's an RNG ability proc, so it's not like you have much control over it. It's why chance to guard passives in general are not well liked by anyone, right? Because I don't want a chance to guard a unit that, I mean, this guy, it's not the biggest deal because he's a slot 3 floating unit, so it's not like with some of these units that have a chance to guard where you want to use them as like a slot 1 tank, and then when their guard doesn't go off, it then causes you to take a ridiculous amount of damage, because this guy's going to be floating in slot 3, so whether his guard goes off or not, you know, that's the slot that you were going to have put him in anyway. But the problem is, when it comes to wanting to run really strong support units on your teams, you obviously want them to, if the worst case scenario, they end up eating a super attack, you obviously want them to have as much chance of surviving that super attack as possible. So him not getting his guard off in a particularly tough event is obviously going to be, you know, very bad. Him being a Roshi, of course, he does activate Kid Goku's unit super, so he is useful to this team, even though Kid Goku isn't an STR unit. And remember, he's a free-to-play option, right? So you see we get the over 5 million attack stat thanks to the Kid Goku. We get an additional normal that actually crits, and then no guard. This would have been a good turn to get the guard, considering his AGL, but yeah, that's we haven't seen the guard. I might have missed it on a previous turn, but we haven't seen the guard go off from my knowledge, which is unfortunate, right? Medium chance is only 30%, which, you know, if you're relying on a 30%, if you take this guy into a difficult event and it becomes a case of like, if his guard doesn't go off now, I'm probably going to die, then yeah, I think you 30% is not what you want, right, as the chance. So let's see, we save some of these STR orbs here in the middle. I don't know if WITS will survive this turn. I'm obviously doing one of the easier Infinite Dragon Ball histories because these units not exactly crazy, right? Like at their peak, we're seeing most of them get to just over 300k defense after a single super attack. So, you know, free-to-play options they are indeed, right? They're not going to be these units that you throw onto any team as a must-run support unit because they're completely holding their own, never going to let you down. Like this Roshi, you could get a little bit of extra defensive utility from that guard, because guard, you know, you don't need as high defense to be you know, solid enough to survive some of these bigger hits, but at the same time he is only backing it up with, what we say, around like 300k defense, so obviously nothing too crazy. WITS, leave Yamcha alone. Okay, so we got the support here for this guy. The Great Saiyaman 4 supports Kamehameha. Actually, no, wait, is it youth? Is it youth for the extra attack, or is it just... yeah, it's only youth for the attack, so he is supporting him with defense. And we do pick up the Infighter link by being linked up with him. What does Infighter give us at level 10? An extra 15% attack, okay. Well, we won't see as high attack stat as we have on a previous turn, because obviously we don't have the massive support from Kid Goku. In fact, we have no attack support, but we're able to get the 3 STR orbs here, as well as the full orbs for his passive. So again, we're seeing another one of those turns where, with the super attack effect included, he's going to be between like 270, 275, that sort of level, and 300, somewhere between there if he only gets one super attack. And then, yeah, 4.4 million. I mean, Roshi seems like he could be pretty good. The only problem is, I've said this with a lot of these units, where it's either their links or their typing that hasn't, I don't think, been designed in the best way in order for them to have maximum utility. Because, obviously, these units were designed long ago, the base units, right, like their typing and the character that they are and everything. But, hindsight being 2020, like, Roshi should have been physical. And then you could potentially argue that he would be a really good unit to run on this Kid Goku team, because they've got links together. He activates his unit super attack, and then he's physical, so he's providing him with a whole bunch of support. But because he's STR, there's not a lot. Like, if say on your main rotations, if you're running Kid Goku's team, usually you're going to be running like Hachan in slot 1 and then Kid Goku, and that's AGL and physical. And then the way I like to run the team, I have Tech Carnival Goku on the other rotation, and then Kid Goku. And that's a Tech and a physical unit. So there's basically no reason to run STR Roshi on that team build. So I do think, like, he would be so much better if he was a physical unit. But like I say, it's not like we can really do much about that. Now, the Battle of Wits 200% team is coming out that is led by an STR unit. There are a lot of good STR units on that team, so maybe he will see a little bit of use for that. But just like all the other ones, I think his best use is basically just going to be for Battlefield. So let me know what you think of the STR Full Power Master Roshi down below in the comment section. That is the last of the Barbershop EZA videos, so let me know which one is your favourite out of the 5. Have you finished doing the setup for them already, completed all the missions? Let me know down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.